Have you ever noticed something beautiful? When a woman smiles, the whole house feels lighter, and when she is burdened inside, the entire environment feels heavy. So the real question is not, does the world support you enough? The real question is, do you support yourself enough? Today, let us reflect on 5 powerful habits that can transform not just a woman's life, but the lives of everyone connected to her. Have you ever observed how powerful a woman truly is? Not the power that makes noise, but the power that quietly holds everything together. When she is peaceful, the home feels peaceful. When she is anxious, the air itself feels restless. And yet, in the middle of managing responsibilities, expectations, and emotions, she often forgets to manage herself. One of the most powerful habits any woman can develop is spending a few intentional moments with herself every single day. Before the world starts demanding your attention, before the phone begins to buzz, before messages and responsibilities rush in, pause. Sit with yourself, even if it is just for 10 minutes. No roles, no labels, no expectations. Just you. Ask yourself a simple question: how am I really? Not the automatic "I'm fine," but the honest answer. Because you cannot pour from an empty cup, and many women are trying to serve tea from cups that are already dry. Self-reflection is not selfish, it is self-respect. When you sit in silence, you begin to understand your emotions instead of being controlled by them. You begin to notice patterns. What triggers you? What drains you? What energizes you? And awareness is the first step toward growth. Many people try to change their circumstances without understanding their inner world. But if the mind is cluttered, even a palace feels suffocating. If the mind is calm, even a small room feels peaceful. In those quiet moments, breathe deeply. Slow your thoughts. You don't need complicated techniques. Just observe. Let your mind settle like muddy water left undisturbed. After some time, the water becomes clear on its own. When you understand your feelings, you respond better. When you respond better, relationships improve. And when relationships improve, life feels lighter. You see, strength is not about suppressing emotions. It is about understanding them. A strong woman is not one who never cries. She is one who knows why she cries and grows from it. These 10 minutes daily may seem small, but small daily investments create massive long-term returns. Just like brushing your teeth prevents bigger problems later, brushing your mind with silence prevents emotional chaos. During this time, you may journal your thoughts, you may pray, you may simply sit quietly. The method is less important than the consistency, because consistency builds identity. When you repeatedly choose self-awareness, you begin to trust yourself more. You stop reacting impulsively. You stop seeking constant validation. You become anchored within. And when a woman becomes anchored within, storms outside lose their intensity. Remember, the world will always ask something from you. Your family will need you. Your work will require you. Society will expect from you. But before you give yourself to the world, give yourself to yourself. 10 minutes of silence, 10 minutes of honesty, 10 minutes of connection. It may look small to others, but it can change everything within you. And when you change within, the world around you slowly begins to change too. Let me ask you something very simple. If I give you a glass of clean water and a glass of muddy water, which one will you choose? Of course, the clean one. But in life, many times we keep staring at the mud and forget the clean water already in our hands. That is how the human mind works. It easily notices what is missing and ignores what is present. One of the most transformative habits a woman can practice daily is gratitude. Not occasional gratitude. Not gratitude only when life is going well, but daily, intentional gratitude. Many women carry immense responsibility. They think about the future, worry about their children, compare their lives with others, and silently carry emotional burdens. Slowly, without realizing it, gratitude gets replaced by complaint. And when complaint becomes a habit, peace quietly leaves the heart. Gratitude is not about denying problems. It is about balancing perspective. Yes, life may not be perfect. Yes, there are challenges. But is there nothing good? Is there not at least one blessing you can acknowledge today? The ability to breathe, the ability to think, a roof over your head, someone who cares for you, even your own resilience. When you consciously look for what is working in your life, your mind begins to shift from scarcity to abundance. Try this simple practice. Every day write down 3 things you are grateful for. They do not have to be extraordinary. I had a child's full cup of tea. I completed my work. Small moments, but powerful reminders. Over time, something beautiful happens. You start noticing blessings automatically. Your mind becomes trained to search for good instead of flaws. Gratitude changes your emotional chemistry. When you are thankful, comparison reduces, jealousy reduces, anxiety reduces, because gratitude tells your heart, I have enough. And when a woman feels, I have enough, she operates from confidence instead of insecurity. Think about this. If the foundation of a house is weak, even small tremors cause cracks. But if the foundation is strong, the structure stands firm. Gratitude is that foundation. When you begin your day with thankfulness, your tone becomes softer. Your reactions become calmer. Your expectations become healthier. Even in disagreements, you remain balanced because your heart is not filled with constant dissatisfaction. And remember, gratitude is contagious. When a woman practices gratitude, it spreads through her home. Children observe it. Family members feel it. The emotional environment becomes lighter. Some people wait for big achievements to feel grateful. But life is not built only on big achievements. It is built on small daily moments. If you cannot appreciate small joys, even big successes will feel incomplete. Gratitude does not mean you stop striving for growth. It simply means you grow without bitterness. So tonight, before you sleep, pause for a moment, close your eyes, reflect on your day. Even if it was difficult, find one lesson, one blessing, one moment of strength. Because when you end your day with gratitude, you sleep peacefully. And when you begin your day with gratitude, you live powerfully. A grateful heart is not a weak heart. It is a wise heart. And wisdom practiced daily transforms ordinary lives into extraordinary journeys. Let me ask you something honestly. How many times have you said, I'll start tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll wake up early. Tomorrow I'll exercise. Tomorrow I'll focus on myself. And tomorrow quietly becomes next week, next month, sometimes next year. The truth is very simple. Motivation is like the weather. Some days it is sunny. Some days it is cloudy. If your growth depends on the weather, progress will always be unpredictable. That is why one of the most powerful habits a woman can build is discipline. Discipline is not about being harsh with yourself. It is about being committed to yourself. Many people misunderstand discipline. They think it means strict rules and no flexibility. But real discipline is simply doing what is necessary even when you don't feel like doing it. Feelings change. Goals require consistency. Imagine planting a seed. If you water it only when you feel inspired, will it grow? No, it needs regular care. In the same way, your dreams need daily action, not occasional excitement. Some mornings you will wake up energized. Other mornings you will feel tired. But the question is, will you move based on your mood or based on your commitment? Successful women are not successful because they always feel motivated. They are successful because they show up, especially on days they don't feel like it. Maybe it is 20 minutes of exercise. Maybe it is reading 5 pages. Maybe it is working on a skill. The task itself is not as important as the consistency behind it. Small daily disciplines build self-trust, and self-trust is powerful. When you keep promises to yourself, your confidence increases. When you repeatedly break promises to yourself, self-doubt increases. It is not about impressing others. It is about respecting your own word. Discipline also brings emotional stability. When your routine is steady, your mind feels secure. Chaos reduces. You feel in control of your day instead of your day controlling you. Sometimes women prioritize everyone else's schedule but neglect their own growth. You manage your family's appointments, deadlines, responsibilities. But what about your personal development? Even if the world does not clap for your efforts, discipline quietly builds your future. And here is something important. Discipline is easier when it is simple. Do not create unrealistic routines that exhaust you in 3 days. Start small, but stay steady. 5 minutes daily is better than 1 hour once a week. Remember, greatness is not built in one dramatic moment. It is built in ordinary moments repeated with commitment. On the days you feel strong, discipline will feel easy. On the days you feel weak, discipline will feel heavy. But those heavy days are the ones that shape your character the most. When you choose discipline over mood, you stop being a victim of circumstances. You become the creator of your direction. And slowly, without noise, without announcement, you transform. Because discipline is not about controlling life perfectly. It is about controlling your effort consistently. And consistent effort, over time, creates extraordinary strength. Have you ever noticed how easily the mind gets carried away by emotions? One moment it feels calm, the next it is restless. One moment it feels confident, the next insecure. Life throws situations at us constantly, and the way we handle them defines not only our day, but our life. One of the most powerful habits a woman can practice daily is learning emotional control, not to suppress feelings, but to understand and respond to them wisely. Emotions are like waves. Some are gentle, some are overwhelming, and often we try to fight the waves only to be exhausted. The real wisdom lies in learning how to ride them, not drown in them. When you respond thoughtfully instead of reacting impulsively, you step into your own power. This does not mean ignoring feelings or pretending they do not exist. It means observing them, naming them, and then choosing your action carefully. Many times, women feel responsible for everything. Family, work, relationships, they carry it all. And when something goes wrong, the first reaction is guilt or frustration. But responding with anger or panic rarely solves anything. A calm and measured response often resolves more than any heated reaction could. This habit, practiced daily, slowly trains the mind to stay steady, no matter how chaotic the external world becomes. Emotional control is not about being emotionless. It is about being self-aware. Take a moment in the day to pause before speaking, before reacting. Ask yourself, is this reaction going to help or hurt? Will it make the situation better or worse? Many times, the simple act of pausing changes everything. It allows space for perspective, understanding, and even compassion. Strength is not always loud. True strength is subtle, quiet, and steady. It is visible in a woman who smiles under pressure, listens before judging, and chooses patience over immediate gratification. The world often mistakes loud reactions for strength, but real strength is calm, deliberate, and rooted in self-awareness. This habit, like a seed, grows slowly but transforms the entire life around it. Another aspect of emotional mastery is resilience. Life will test you in unexpected ways. Challenges, disappointments, failures, they will come. But emotional resilience allows you to navigate these storms without losing your center. You acknowledge the pain, you learn from it, and you continue with grace. The habit of daily reflection, combined with patience, creates this resilience. It is like sharpening a tool. You practice, you refine, and over time, you become sharper, stronger, and steadier. When this habit is cultivated, it does more than improve personal life. It influences relationships, work, and the environment around you. People respond differently. Let's take a moment and reflect on one simple truth. Life is not only about what we achieve, but also about what we give. Many women are busy chasing goals, taking care of responsibilities, and managing every part of their world. In the process, they sometimes forget the quiet joy that comes from selfless service. One of the most powerful habits a woman can practice daily is doing something kind for someone else. Not for recognition, not for reward, but simply because it matters. Kindness is like planting seeds. You never know when or how they will grow, but every small act contributes to a more beautiful world. A smile offered to a tired stranger, a word of encouragement to a discouraged friend, or even taking a moment to listen to someone without judgment, these small gestures create ripples far beyond what we can see. When a woman practices this habit daily, she is not just helping others, she is also nurturing her own heart. It is important to understand that giving does not always require grand gestures. Many times, it is the smallest acts that leave the deepest impressions. A warm cup of tea prepared for someone without being asked, a short message checking on a friend, or simply holding space for someone to express themselves, these acts build trust, connection, and harmony. When done consistently, these small acts of service become a natural part of life, a habit that strengthens character. Service has another profound effect. It shifts perspective. When we focus only on ourselves, challenges often feel overwhelming. But when we take a moment to step outside our own worries and extend care, we realize how interconnected life is. Problems do not disappear, but the heart expands, and we become less burdened by our own anxieties. This habit reminds us that life is bigger than individual struggles. A woman who serves consistently also cultivates gratitude. She begins to notice her own blessings as she helps others navigate theirs. This awareness of abundance creates peace, reduces resentment, and builds resilience. Kindness and gratitude together transform ordinary routines into extraordinary practices. The mind becomes calmer, the heart lighter, and the spirit stronger. The habit of service also teaches humility. It reminds us that we are not the center of the universe, that every life matters, and that even small contributions are meaningful. It is not about grand recognition, it is about quietly making a positive difference. When this habit is practiced daily, it becomes second nature. Giving and caring are no longer occasional choices, they are reflections of who we are. And the beauty of this habit is that it is contagious. One act of kindness inspires another. A smile spreads, a thoughtful gesture encourages reciprocity, and a culture of care begins to grow. The influence is subtle, often unnoticed, but powerful nonetheless. It changes homes, workplaces, and communities over time. Service, when combined with consistency, gratitude, and emotional awareness, becomes a life-transforming practice. A woman who embodies this habit radiates strength, calm, and warmth. She impacts others without realizing it, and in the process, she nourishes her own soul. Daily acts of service are not about doing more, they are about being more compassionate, more present, and more alive. When this habit becomes part of life, it quietly changes everything. Life does not feel like a series of burdens to bear, but a canvas to paint with care, love, and intention. And in that quiet transformation, the world feels a little brighter because one woman chose to give consistently every single day. A woman is not just a role. She is not only a daughter, sister, wife, or mother. She is a soul with dreams. She is strength wrapped in grace. If you practice these 5 habits daily, the world may not change overnight, but you will change. And when a woman transforms, her family transforms, her future transforms, generations transform. So from today, make a decision: I will not just survive, I will grow, I will rise. And when you rise, you give others permission to rise with you. Thank you. Stay strong, stay wise, and keep shining.